Thunder!
So we finally got a proper trailer for MultiVersus. Now feels like the perfect time to talk about this game again. Originally I wanted to do a reaction video to the trailer, but seeing as I wasn't able to record at the time, I figured that I would just talk about the state of the game in general once again. So first off, as many of you already know, the news has been rather barren for this game. We got the initial reveal about 5 months ago, and then after that, radio silence for the most part. Sure, we got the reveal of Velma on Twitter as well as multiple closed tests, but seeing as those were locked off by NDAs, we haven't really been able to talk about the game. That is until now. Things are finally starting to ramp up again for this game, and I am getting super excited. So the first big news we gotta talk about is the trailer. This trailer kinda caught me off guard. I already had a feeling that the game had a bit of a higher budget than some other platform fighters, but seeing a full cinematic trailer with voice acting was really cool to see. We got to see a bunch of these entertainment icons interacting with each other alongside some unexpected team-ups, which goes along with the whole 2v2 angle the devs are pushing with this game. But the most exciting thing about this trailer was the two new reveals. The first one being Taz, which makes perfect sense in my opinion. Taz is one of my favorite Looney Tunes characters, and his wild and erratic traits are going to fit in just fine in a game like this. I'm also sorta hoping that Taz could potentially play similarly to what a hypothetical playable Crash would have been like in Smash, seeing as how we didn't get him in that game. And then the other big reveal was the Iron Giant. This one caught me off guard. The Iron Giant is one of my favorite animated films of all time, and this really hits hard in terms of nostalgia. I know that some people have been saying that having him fight goes against the whole message of the movie, and while I agree, from the trailer at least, it seems like he's at least trying to do some good by intervening in the fighting alongside his idol, Superman. So I think that's a really cool angle to convey with his inclusion. Outside of the reveals though, we got another confirmation of the closed alpha happening on May 19th, as well as the open beta launching in July. Both of these are going to be NDA free, so people will finally be able to talk about gameplay and impressions of the game, since we really have no real footage to go off of outside of the initial reveal. At least that is what I would say if we didn't just get new footage of the devs facing off against Pro Smash players Void and the Cat. The footage that we saw gave us a pretty good idea of what the game's going to be like. On the surface it looks like just any other platform fighter, but at the same time you can tell that it's trying to form its own identity. My first impression is that the game is a lot more chaotic than Smash. Movement in general also seems much different than something like Smash Bros, and while some people might think that the chaos is going to make it hard to follow, I like that the game is at least trying to do its own thing. It doesn't feel like this game is trying to be a direct clone of Smash, and rather just a brand new platform fighter. In many ways, based on gameplay and the free-to-play nature, I would almost say that it's closer to Brawlhalla instead of Smash. That's just my 2 cents, but I think this is one of those situations where we really won't know until we get our hands on the game, which luckily is incredibly close for many people. I actually got accepted into the closed alpha, so I'm excited to try out this game, and depending on how things go, I might even make another video after the alpha ends talking about my overall impressions of the game. Now comes the fun part. One final thing that I want to address is my personal predictions for the game. After seeing a character like the Iron Giant get revealed, it really got my gears turning on some possible additions that I would love to see. So to start things off, I think that we're still going to get some old school characters for sort of legacy representation, so my pick for that category is Fred Flintstone. The Flintstones is such an iconic cartoon, and I definitely think that they could make a good moveset for someone like Fred. If they wanted to go for sort of the meme moveset like what they did for Shaggy, they could even pull from the Flintstones NES game, since it's the source game of the Granddad meme from Varg Skeletor or Joel from Vinesauce when it took the form of a bootleg Mario game. Next up is an addition that comes from one of my favorite cartoons of all time, Animaniacs. They literally live in the Warner Brothers water tower. It would be really interesting to see the potential for a character to essentially be 3 characters at the same time, and they could easily have a wide moveset that could potentially reference WB's wide library due to the series' meta style of humor. Now, one area that MultiVersus has yet to get representation in is from Warner Brothers published video games. I would personally love to see Maxwell from Scribblenauts make his way into the game. Scribblenauts was and still is a really fun and unique game series, and Maxwell could bring a lot as a character to MultiVersus. With his notebook that can create anything, the immediate thought that came to mind was to give him an RNG mechanic like Hero in Smash, where he could summon random things to aid him in battle. I think he would be a great character to add into the game. Now, for my most wanted character, this is a character that I've not seen on too many people's wish list, but I still think he would be a great fit. KO from OK KO Let's Be Heroes. This is one of the more recent Cartoon Network shows, and while it was incredibly short-lived, it is a series that I fell in love with all the show's references to anime as well as the fighting game genre as a whole. I feel like KO is almost tailor-made to be put into a fighting game, which would, in my opinion, make him a natural fit for MultiVersus. This game has set my hype levels through the roof. MultiVersus has the potential to have mainstream appeal that could potentially rival Smash while still carving its own spot in the platform fighter genre, and the game hasn't even launched yet, so I think it really has potential to grow into something really exciting. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but for now, that's enough out of me. If you guys like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and leave a note down in the comments saying who you want to see in MultiVersus, and I will see you in the next video. Later.